one of the things I hear a lot of the time is, well, now there is so much data. What are you going to do with it all?
Yeah.
And the answer I would have to that is, do you even really need to? Do you actually need to use all the data you have?
Right.
The key is understanding, what is actually going to make the difference for you, and to focus on that. The rest of the stuff, just put to one side. Don't get obsessed about it, because we can all get obsessed about what the best clubs are doing, but most of the best clubs are doing it because they have time to do it. But why do they have time? What are the things that they have in place that have actually got them the ability to look at those things? So those things for them are the end 1%. So there seems to be this obsession of, well, the Bayern Munich's doing it or the Crusaders are doing it. Who cares? Like, they're in a position to do that. Don't focus on that. Focus on getting yourself in a position to be able to do that stuff, which a lot of us miss out on.
Right. And on a personal level, aside from rugby, are you into any other sports, and what are your favourite teams?
Once you start looking at clubs the way we look at them, you start supporting the teams that are well built, and so that changes all the time. So an example, the AFL Richmond used to be terribly built, and they got the results because of it. And then 3 or 4 years later, they put themselves back together again. Fantastic. So when they win, that makes me happy. I think that what I don't, I have a larger problem with clubs who try to buy titles through the purchase of players in a non-sustainable manner. That's that's what I'm not really a fan of. At the same time, one of the problems is, if you try to build a club in a sustainable manner, the market starts to overvalue the players you have. And in order to be able to hold on to those players, you have to start breaching the salary cap. So oftentimes it's the flip side of the same coin. But I think the market needs to look at that as a problem. This is a completely different subject. Also, you can also see a massive differential between the involvement of boards in clubs. Like, you'll go to them and say, we'd love to be able to help you. And they'll say, well, that sounds like data. Go talk to the coaches. And it's like, no, we want to help you understand whether the coach is doing a good job or not, whether he's leading you down the garden path. Now, the problem is, a lot of the time, the promises the coach made to get the job, he can't deliver on. And so when they're not delivering on it, the board gets frustrated, and then they say, well, their performance isn't up to scratch, I'm going to fire him. It's like, but by what premise have you fired this person? So that's a little bit frustrating. So you kind of move away from being a fan of sport teams per se into a fan of the way things are done. But probably the club that was one of the best run was probably the Spurs with Popovich. The Canterbury Crusaders with rugby. I really like Liverpool now, but 10 years ago, not in your life. So it changes around a bit.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to check out more of our content, go to sporttechdaily.com or follow us on social media across Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram.